Court orders recount of Simbu Regional Seat. NCD Governor eyes CCTV APEC Camera network. And South Korean ties with the Simbu province to grow.
This is National EMTV News with Merba Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Monday's news. To some breaking news now. EMTV News would like to announce the return of its senior journalist, Scott Wide, to active duty. The EMTV management made an announcement in a media statement this afternoon while maintaining that its news team, with the addition of Mr. Wide, will continue to maintain the highest standards in its news coverage and takes this responsibility very seriously. EMTV News will continue to bring to Papua New Guinea the truth in its reporting. The Court of Disputed Returns today ordered a recount for the Simbu Regional Seat. In handing down his decision, Justice Colin McKyle ordered a recount citing counting errors on the part of the Electoral Commission following a petition by former regional member Noah Cool.
Justice Colin McKyle handed down his decision for a recount for the Simbu Regional Seat at 1 p.m. this afternoon. His decision followed a petition by former regional member Noah Cool claiming irregularities in counting processes during the 2017 national general elections.
Probably had some doubt in the clarity or the integrity of the counting process. And so he basically ordered for a recount to verify the figures.
Simbu Governor Michael Dua said the decision was disappointing but was hopeful the recount would prove that the proper process were followed, and he was duly elected as regional member for Simbu Province.
They want to prove it, so if we have done the storage with the boxes, if there's no tampering there, then there won't be anything. Everything will be okay, and then we might have our numbers going up because some of our votes were put into those exhaust papers.
The court decision comes at a time of change for the province. The previous provincial administrator, Joe Kunda, was recently replaced by the National Executive Council after his term expired. Governor Dua has said he will return to Simbu and work with the new PA and await the results of the recount.
We have no grudges against anybody. We are there to deliver, so we have to work together.
Adelaide Siraks Kari, National EMTV News.
Among additions to infrastructure in Port Moresby for the recent APEC leaders meeting was the installation of closed-circuit television cameras in various parts of the city. At the time of APEC, the CCTV system was overseen by the Joint Security Task Force, with the system's control centre based out of Hohola. With APEC having concluded, NCD Governor Pos Pakop has hinted at the use of the CCTV system by NCDC in the near future. In the lead-up to the recent APEC Economic Leaders meeting, CCTV cameras were placed at different locations to monitor the traffic, mostly along the routes that were to have been used to transport leaders. In total, more than 100 cameras were installed, all controlled from the JSTF Command Center. But now that APEC has come and gone, the city authority plans to utilize them. According to NCD Governor Pos Pakop, this will be done in consultation with relevant authorities, among them police.
So we want to put more cameras in the city, and of course we want to partner like the police. The police have to be part of this equation. I think part of the failure of our first initiative was that the police were not involved. It's not that we didn't ask them, but they were either not ready or they don't want to participate with the capacity of the control center based with G4S.
Whilst the exact details have not yet been made known, Governor Pakop is confident that if utilized well, the CCTV system can be used for various means that could be useful for the city authority in its various monitoring functions.
I'm open to if the police have capacity, they want to host it, especially the control and command center, they can control it. We also have monitoring in NCDC, so we can monitor all those issues and challenges that are responsibility of NCDC, like physical planning, litter, all the lights, people knock them down every time, what happens in the market, what happens in the bus stop. These are areas that we are responsible for, health, legal licensing, all these regulations that NCDC is responsible for. this capacity can give us, the information that we need in order to, get on top of those issues in the city. Yeah.
This is not the first time that the city authority has considered the use of CCTV in its operations. Previously, it trialled the concept in partnership with a local security firm. However, this time around, there are hopes that it could be successful given the approach to have police oversee the CCTV control center. To a developing story in Kundiawa now, and supporters of Simbu Governor Michael Dua attempted to burn ballot boxes located at the Kundiawa police station when rival supporters of ousted Governor Noah Cool engaged with them in a stone-throwing battle. That was the report from Acting Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Lawrence Israel when speaking to National MTV News about the clash. The acting PPC said the situation is tense, but police have contained it for now. MTV News will be following the story as it continues to develop. Even though HIV is no longer an epidemic in Papua New Guinea, it is prevalent among key populations at a rate of 0.9%. Today, the United Nations Population Fund presented 6.1 million condoms to the Health Department to address this. Also attached with the condoms were maternal equipment, which will help strengthen the provision of reproductive and maternal health services in the country.
The donation of 6.1 million condoms and maternal equipment is part of UNFPA's support to the government in providing healthcare to Papua New Guineans. The presentation today, valued at $700 or 2.1 million kina, complements a similar donation in May this year. The donation of condoms will support UNFPA's HIV and AIDS program in the country. 6.1
million condoms, out of which we have 5.6 million male condoms and 500,000 female condoms. It is very important to have the condoms because we have the HIV program. And we all know that HIV, even if it's not a generalized epidemic in Papua New Guinea, HIV is prevalent and the rate has gone to 0.9%.
Among items donated today were family planning equipment and reproductive and maternal equipment. Other recipients of the donations today were Mendy Hospital, who received delivery beds and lights, and the Port Moresby General Hospital, who received a manual vacuum extractor for women with complicated pregnancies. Receiving the extractor was Head of Reproductive Health at Port Moresby General Hospital, Dr. Glenn Moller.
People got this laced up, but this little Port Moresby General Hospital, I'm 15 or 18 years old. Now I'm walking so now people got one blood, that's all. And we use it about we use three times every day. So people a short win long clean him, now sterilize him, now use him again, clean him, now sterilize him, use him again. Suppose it's just two. Well, now you got two. Yes, now by you got two.
What's the number that you're supposed to?
Well, it'd be nice to have three, I think.
The items are currently at the area medical store in Port Moresby. They will be distributed to the regional medical stores and from there to respective catchment areas and then to provincial hospitals.
Let me say thank you to UNFPA. They've been a very, very solid and strong partner over the years in the reproductive products that they've been helping us with over the years.
Charlene Airy, National MTV News.
2 men are confirmed dead and several houses torched following a clash between settlers and locals at Madang Sagalau area that started on the weekend. Investigations are yet to begin to find the exact cause of the incident. Unconfirmed reports say among those injured is a 5-year-old girl. The Sagalau area remains tense with police monitoring the situation.
These were the houses burned to the ground at Gusin village opposite Madang Teachers College. At this stage, information remains sketchy, but it is believed the fighting started on the weekend following an attempted hold-up on a local from Miss Village by a group of drunken youths from nearby settlement. Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Ben Neneo is yet to get an incident report, however says formal investigations are yet to start. According to police on the ground, a 5-year-old girl believed to be the granddaughter of a local was also attacked with knife wounds to her arm. In retaliation, the locals burned down the settlers' houses. The settlers retaliated and mobilized, burning down the houses belonging to mixed villages. At present, the situation remains tense. In an unrelated incident, the body of a man was found at Panim near the water PNG treatment plant site. Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Ben Neneo is yet to give an official statement on this and other incidents. Martha Luis, National MTV News, Medang.
You're watching National MTV News. We'll be back with more of the day's news after these messages. Stay tuned.
Whatever our work may be, sing out strong as far as you can see. Whatever language people are taught, come on, everyone join in. An exciting adventure is about to begin. 'Cause there's one thing we all know, when it's time to get up and go. Sharing stories make the call, our favorite biscuit the best of all. M now, BFG, M now, BFG, M now, BFG.
I really love Papua New Guinea and the people here and everywhere that you travel to in the country and their customs and culture. And there's just so much beauty in their smiling faces.
Super interesting, a lot of fun. PNG is awesome. And unexpectedly amazing.
You can be hiking an active volcano 1 minute, and you can go down and cool off in the blue waters the next. There's just no shortage of adventures to be had here.
You could see the fish swimming and all the dolphins jumping. It was just a magical experience.
I've been having amazing experience here in Papua New Guinea.
I think this is the most beautiful place I've ever been. You know, with the crystal clear water and the people, there's just no place like it.
Hello, name below me Lua Rikis. Taimi Pilai Netball Wantan PNG Peppers national team. May lo practice lo come up good all get a time. Taimi Pilai Pinis, all get a good la passing lo wasim han one time soap me must make him. Before me kai kai or behind lo golo toilet. Also na all get a time midi lo practice wasim han one time soap.
Mining na petroleum is kulim ol tisa na buildim classroom longol sumatin. Mipla iputim planti money inside longol health center na all health programs. Mipla ibuildim road na bridge long bring him service long all people. Na Mipla ihalibim long rausim all kind sick. Na give him clean water long drink long all PNG man Mary by staff healthy.
Mining na petroleum kamapim good pla behind time long Papua New Guinea.
This platok it come long PNG Chamber of Mines na petroleum.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Wednesday on Culinary Journeys. Through Michelin star chef Michael White is on a journey to discover the relationship between a chef and a farmer. Michael White setting out to visit another very passionate old friend, Rick Bishop, a farmer and owner of Mountain Sweet Berry Farm.
Well, we nicknamed Mountain Sweet, and then that became the name of the farm.
Culinary Journeys, Wednesday 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
Welcome back to the news. The Civil Identity Registry Office in Bans, Jiwaka Province, recently issued its first NID cards after 10 months of operations. Provincial Registrar Joe Karab says, like any other public office, funding from its headquarters is still an issue. However, Karab said this will not stop them from rolling out the project to fulfill the national government's plans to register over 100,000 people in the province next year.
The Civil Identity Registry Office in Barnes, since rolling out the project in February 2018, have been only registering and giving out birth certificates. So far, 1,072 birth certificates have been registered and given to the people of Jiwaka province, mainly those living in the urban areas. Last Friday, the office issued its first 800 NID cards. The first person to receive one was Governor Dr. William Tonga and the Provincial Administrator Michael Wandil. Provincial Registrar Joe Karup told EMTV News that funding from the head office in Port Moresby is slow, which also slowed the work of his officers.
Apart from the money problem, our operation kind of stops when we have regular power interruption. Means Barnes.
The Barnes office also needs mobile registration kits and a vehicle for officers to travel to remote places in the province to register the rural population. The provincial registrar says while waiting for funding, the Jiwaka provincial government has always stepped in to assist them. Karup says more awarenesses needs to be made for people to understand the purpose of the office so they can also do death, adoption and marriage certificates.
I don't think the bulk of people in Jiwaka, they fully are aware that we are doing these things here. So what we are doing is only for the people who live around Kuchip, Barnes, Means.
Jiwaka Governor Dr. William Tonga urged his people to register so that it will help the government to plan service delivery according to the correct number of people in the province. The governor also brushed aside rumors that NID registration is 666, an end-time number believed by Christians. Meanwhile, Jiwaka Provincial Administrator urged the civil registry officers to speed up the registration process so that more people must register. Currently, the Barnes office is registering a lot of people from the neighboring provinces in the Highlands region, a clear sign that people want to get registered but don't have efficient access to this service.
And register long 1,000 compared to 300,000-400,000. Man, good plus. From now until the next couple of months, you must speed him up, work here, so you can come up with more man.
Fastinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
South Korea's ambassador to Papua New Guinea has said his country will continue to maintain stronger economic ties with PNG. Speaking during the launching of the Kundiawa-Gambog electorate's 5-year development plan, 2018 to 2022, Ambassador Kim Gu said PNG and South Korea's friendship will be strengthened through the trading of commodities. The 5-year development plan focuses more on tourism and agriculture.
South Korean ambassador to PNG, Kang Kim-gu, says South Korea will continue to trade with PNG, which will contribute to the security and capacity building of both countries. Kim-gu says the close friendship between the two countries will also promote economic and cultural growth. The ambassador was in Simbu on weekend to look into the bulb onion market in the province, as a majority of the population of South Korea consumes bulb onions daily. Talks are underway to partner with South Korea to extend the market of bulb onion overseas.
The close contacts between two countries will promote trade in commodities as well as friendship.
The 5-year development plan will be a game changer for the people of Kundiawa-Gambog. It is designed for the people to become economically liberated and empowered in the long term in order to improve their living standards. Kundiawa-Gambog electorate is one of the districts in PNG which has the potential to produce bulb onion in large scale. It also has the potential to attract tourists since it houses the 7th tallest mountain in the world, Mount William.
Australia, US, France, Italy, when I'm getting China, you go. Paper the solo look stuff, but lo embassy Korea talk. Me looking paper blue, but me looking people blue, bit go. So I'm come looking player. I'm a committee plan of staff on the mission, but me work on Korean.
Kundiawa Gambok MP William Onglo says that growers in his electorate will be able to do downstream processing of bulb onions in Simbu from pre-harvesting to pro-harvesting and packaging. The initiative is also supported by Simbu Governor Michael Dua, who will pilot Kundiawa Gambok electorate to grow bulb onion and potatoes in bulk. Dua will also identify local markets for growers.
Domestic export must increase. Everything 16 months gone up. Just because some people get access to working, you be working.
The 5-year development plan is designed to achieve the objectives of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and PNG's Vision 2050 to be responsible and sustainable. Ambassador Kim Gu encouraged the members of parliament to do economic activities which will be socio-economic friendly and will benefit majority of the people. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Empowering people to secure a sustainable future for a greater CPEC. This was highlighted during the launch of the ECPEC Development Plan today in Port Moresby.
The ECPEC Development Forum was held today in Port Moresby, as this was to gather ideas from various participants in Port Moresby for a better sustainable development plan. However, this year's planning was held in a different location, as the Governor for ECPEC, Alan Bird, says the designated location was in the best interest of other people of ECPEC province. Most of them are professionals working and living in Port Moresby, and their contributions were welcome.
We've just brought it out to another center because there's a lot of highly educated and well-to-do CPECs here who might want an input.
During the Development Forum launch today, various important points addressed, including the 5 pillars of development plan for ECPEC province in terms of agriculture, transport, effective governance, sustainable social development, and cross-cutting issues like HIV and AIDS. Mr. Bad says the economy of ECPEC province is built upon these pillars.
Well, you need a structured plan. So the 5 pillars gives us a structure that we can work around and be able to measure our progress.
Mr. Bad also spoke of the importance of having a sustainable development plan, as it will help empower the people of ECPEC and their economy.
For us, we're building our entire economy around the sustainability area. For instance, things like power generation, we're hoping that over the next few years we'll move towards sustainable renewable sources. When you talk about in terms of the sorts of jobs we want to create, we're looking at sustainable jobs around agriculture, tourism, eco-forestry, and you know, forestry services and so on and so forth.
Amanda Rimur, National EMTV News.
And the ECPEC Development Forum brought together intellectuals from all fields and prominent leaders from the province, headed by ECPEC Governor Alan Bird. The forum discussed policies and strategies to empower people in ECPEC in their aim to secure a sustainable future and to achieve economic growth through selected sectors. Land planning and youth rehabilitation were important points stressed during the forum. Isaiah Tare reports.
During the forum today, various issues were discussed, including the 5 pillars of sustainable development for ECPEC. MAPRIC MP John Simon stressed the importance of focusing on youth rehabilitation. He said most young people today in the province do not really care about SMEs and agriculture.
Our problem is our today's generation are no longer interested in agriculture. This is the reality. If we don't deal with it, SME is gone, agriculture is gone.
Land use planning was another important point raised. Landscape architect Lucy Benguma said that proper land use planning has to be practiced.
Planning goes right down to the basic level. You are going to touch the lives of the people.
ECPEC Governor Alan Bird called on the CPEC people to work together to develop the CPEC region, despite challenges being faced at all levels of government.
We need to break some new barriers if we are going to make things different. Let's not place limitations on ourselves.
Isaiah Tare, National EMTV News.
Over 100 students graduated today from the LaSalle Technical School with certificates in trade and academic courses. School principal Brother Jaya says the school does not receive support from the government, but they're happy to provide quality education and a second chance to these students.
More than 100 students successfully graduated with national certificates 1 and 2 in the different trade courses they took. These certificates were attained together with academic certificates. Since its establishment, the school has not received support from the government. However, they continue to receive support from brother Lasallian schools both in Australia and Papua New Guinea. School principal Brother Jaya thanked the various supporters for their commitment to helping the school.
Now we don't get any fund from outside except from our Lasallian schools. They help us to buy some tools for the trade departments and some safety tools for the trade students, and and we get donation in the form of materials like computers and other materials, trade-related materials, and chairs and bench from our Lasallian schools from Australia and New Zealand.
As a fairly new institution, the school does not have problems with infrastructure at present. However, transport remains an issue, with the principal stating the need for a school bus to assist students to be on time for lessons.
Many of our students are economically from poor family background, but though we collect the less fees or all those things, some students are still struggling to pay that. But we provide. There is no problem with infrastructure, all those things. The only problem we face is that the students are facing difficult to travel here and to come on time. That's the only challenge we are facing.
But despite these challenges, a positive achievement today with the school successfully hosting its graduation. Among the certificates attained were certificates in motor mechanics, welding and metal fabrication, office administration, computer studies and tourism and hospitality. In addition, academic awards in religious studies, basic computing, trade mathematics and technical English. After graduating today, the students now have the choice either to find employment using their trade certificates or further their education. Rayon Lakingu, National MTV News.
Here with National MTV News this Monday, we'll take a look at stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Don't go away.
You too can now experience the refreshment of pure PNG with True water, sourced from an ancient aquifer, carbon filtered, ultraviolet and ozone treated, and the finest purification with reverse osmosis.
And that means the science lesson is now over. Settle back and refresh yourself with PNG's finest. Reach for a chilled True water. Pure PNG.
We can't wait to meet you.
I got this.
Hi guys, this is Peter. I'm going in to help Mom, okay?
Oh boy, these are some pretty big fellas. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Whoa, that's a tight grip.
Hey.
Seriously?
Hey, is that your car?
Yes, it is.
Sweating on the inside? Handle it on the outside with Speed Stick.
Hey, come with my dad.
Huh? Speed Stick. Don't sweat it, handle it.
For nearly 3 decades, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum has been promoting free trade and development in the Asia-Pacific region. Through APEC, economic output in the Asia-Pacific has more than doubled, helping businesses' growth and employment. Through APEC, we are strengthening our economy, particularly in areas such as small businesses, tourism, agriculture, and information technology. We will continue to grow our economy and create more jobs as we host APEC in 2018.
Business is always changing. Keep up with Business PNG. From big business to small business. Get the breakdown of the financial headlines from the heart of the country's economic epicenter, Port Moresby.
To increasing financial inclusion, mining and petroleum conference, e-commerce.
Business PNG, making your business our business.
This is Business PNG.
Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas now, hundreds of Central American migrants are trying to breach Mexico's border with the U.S. The men, women and children were repelled when American officers fired tear gas. Thousands of migrants have now arrived in Tijuana, saying they're fleeing violence and poverty.
Tonight, chaos erupting on the border. Hundreds of migrants rushing to cross into the U.S. from Mexico. The group pushing past Mexican authorities in riot gear, climbing over barricades. One group attempting to climb on top of this train where they were confronted by Mexican police. At one point, migrants retreating after reports of border agents throwing tear gas canisters.
And it is a tense situation here right now. These Mexican police in riot gear pushing this group of migrants back. They are yelling at the officers, angry because they say that tear gas injured 2 children earlier today.
The U.S. Border Patrol shutting down the San Ysidro port of entry to cars and pedestrians. It's unknown if anyone made it across. Additional officers were deployed to stave off the crowds. The latest clashes come after continued threats by President Trump to Mexico.
We will close entry into the country for a period of time until we can get it under control.
For the entire border?
The whole border. I mean the whole border.
This morning, senators from his own party responding.
We would prefer that we keep it open, so let's work really hard to make sure we're addressing the asylum seekers before they actually come over the border. I think that's the intent of the president, is to divert any issues before they actually happen. So, of course, we don't want to see the border closed, but you know what? Safety of our nation comes first.
This morning, Trump again blaming Democrats for the Central American caravan, tweeting, "Would be very smart if Mexico would stop the caravans long before they get to our southern border, or if originating countries would not let them form. No crossings." Tonight, as the border grows more unruly and officers stand their ground, Tijuana's mayor calling it a humanitarian crisis as questions increase, looking for solutions to calm the situation.
It's a heartbreaking scene. Up to 145 whales dead after a mass stranding on Stewart Island, New Zealand. It's one of several strandings around New Zealand over the last few days. 2 pods beached 2 kilometers apart.
Close to 150 pilot whales spread along 2 kilometres of the western coast of Stewart Island. Not one survivor.
One of our field staff headed straight down to the site, and while it was dark, he could tell there was somewhere between 100 and 200 whales.
The Department of Conservation was notified on Saturday night when a tramper spotted the stranded whales. With around half already dead on discovery, the remaining ones were then euthanised.
Sadly, once we were able to get in and properly assess the situation, we found many of the whales had already passed away, and with the rest of them suffering, a decision was made on humane grounds to euthanise them.
It's not the first time this has happened on Stewart Island, with a similar stranding happening just 7 years ago on the same coastline. Back then, 107 died, with no hope of refloating any initial survivors.
The location of the whales made access very difficult.
Pilot whales are prolific stranders, with around 1,000 estimated to have beached in the Chatham Islands in 1918. Each year, DOC responds to around 85 incidents. Factors like extreme weather, falling tides and navigational error, just some of the reasons why. In fact, 4 different strandings occurred in New Zealand just over the last few days. DOC says the bodies will be left where they are, eventually floating back into the ocean.
Theresa May's Brexit plans passed an important milestone, the European Union signing off the agreement, but a full deal is far from being sealed and delivered. 27 EU leaders endorsed the deal after 20 months of tough negotiations. The British Prime Minister says it's the best and only deal possible, but while the UK is set to leave the EU in March next year, Theresa May still has a rocky road ahead, selling the plan back home and persuading MPs to vote for the deal.
They say breaking up is never easy, and that couldn't be more true for the UK's divorce from its 45-year marriage with the European Union.
No victors here today, nobody winning, we're all losing.
It took more than 500 days of intense negotiations between officials to get a detailed agreement on how Britain will leave the European Union. But it took less than 40 minutes to sign it off.
There were those who said that reaching a Brexit agreement that worked for both sides was an impossible task. From the start, I rejected that counsel of despair and set about negotiating a deal that worked for the UK and the EU.
But it appears some EU leaders still can't believe the marriage is over.
It's tragic that the UK is leaving after 45 years.
If you thought it had been difficult for Theresa May to get to this point, well, her trickiest task is still ahead of her. Can she convince and persuade her colleagues here at Westminster to sign off on her deal? At the moment, it appears she simply doesn't have the numbers to get it through Parliament.
What would happen then is up in the air. There's the threat of leaving without any deal at all and the potential economic chaos that could cause. Or could the UK go back and renegotiate? The EU says no.
This is a deal, it's the best deal possible, and the European Union will not change its fundamental position when it comes to this issue.
Other options could be a second referendum or a general election. But now she's home, Theresa May will be doing her utmost to avoid those scenarios and to get others singing from her song sheet. The local band in the Yorkshire town of Skipton is a mix of those who voted to remain and those who want to leave.
I think the only thing we can hope is that the country becomes more prosperous in the future, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen for a long time.
I don't think this country will leave the EU on those terms.
It's expected that Britain's Parliament will vote on those terms in about 2 weeks. Until then, the show must go on.
Get out now, the urgent warning to residents in a number of Queensland communities as crews battle dozens of raging bushfires. Around 800 people fleeing deep water and surrounding towns as strong winds fan the flames.
Now jumped, requesting all rural resources responding here priority.
Dangerous and unpredictable, blistering heat and strong winds fueling the flames.
It's a combination of the temperature, the low humidity, the variable winds. In this part of the world, we have not experienced these conditions before.
Dozens of fire crews and 6 planes are battling 40 wildfires raging across central Queensland.
We've got several days ahead of us, and each day that extreme temperatures are drying more of the fuel, so we're getting more intense fire behaviour each day.
The erratic flames are reaching 10 to 12 metres high. They've devoured 2 properties so far, but hundreds more are threatened.
The winds are changing, so we do expect it to turn later on this afternoon and head back towards the communities of Deepwater and Baffle Creek.
Fire crews frustrated with residents refusing to leave or trying to sneak back home.
Some people have chosen to stay and defend, and of course we've recommended to them that they leave, but ultimately it's their choice to stay.
We simply don't have the time to spend mucking around, telling people and explaining what is an obvious danger now.
Authorities had warned dry conditions this year would make for a dangerous bushfire season, and this comes just days after a major bushfire threatened homes here in New South Wales. Now 100 of the state's firefighters are headed to Queensland to help out.
The extreme weather will continue over the next week.
Those in charge admitting they're still working out how to tackle a fire season unlike any they've seen before.
New details have emerged about the death of an American missionary killed on a remote island in the Indian Ocean. Officials now believe they have located where the indigenous isolated tribe buried John Chow.
This morning, ABC News obtaining images of the handwritten pages of John Chow's journal detailing his final days. The photos coming as police in India say they're closer to pinpointing where the body of the 26-year-old American missionary is buried. Chow traveled to the remote island of North Sentinel to convert members of an endangered tribe to Christianity. In the diary, he writes, "You guys might think I'm crazy in all this, but I think it is worth it to declare Jesus to these people." Authorities now struggling to figure out how to recover his remains without putting rescuers or the tribe, which has no immunity to modern diseases, at risk.
As far as I know, the U.S. State Department and everyone else is still gathering facts. It is difficult, but we're still gathering information about the possibility.
Authorities believe members of this tribe, which has lived in isolation for 60,000 years, shot him with arrows. Fishermen later reported seeing his body being dragged and buried on a beach. Chow reportedly knew traveling to the island was illegal, bribing local fishermen to drop him off on shore. After describing in his journal his first hostile contact with the islanders, he acknowledged the risk he faced returning, writing to his family, "Please do not be angry at them or at God if I get killed."
This was his life mission. This was what God has called him to do, which is to go and share the love of God with these people. It's the holidays, and I can't imagine how hard it is for his parents, his relatives and friends that this has happened.
Yeah, with Monday's news, we go for a break now. When we come back, we take a look at some sporting updates in Trukai Sports.
Gold Nuggets cheese, chicken, and cheese and onion all just got bigger. A lot bigger. 40% bigger. Look for the new Bigla 35-gram packs. Bigger packs, better value at the same low price. That's right. 40% more Gold Nuggets in every pack for you to enjoy.
They continue to invade our homes, disrupt our livelihoods and threaten our health. But we can stop this cycle of destruction. Reach for Mortein's fast knockdown multi-insect killer. Our trusted technology knocks down and kills flying and crawling insects fast. Trusted technology that kills fast. And at night, you can rely on Mortein coils to repel mosquitoes and protect your family. Choose Mortein for trusted family protection.
More smart, more safe, Mortein.
Wednesday on Marvel Runaways. Nico investigates the staff of One, but is unable to control its power and calls Alex for help.
What did I say about this?
Why is he? She doesn't know.
What the hell? Now, you could have called anyone for help, but you called me.
Sorry to bug you, but I ran into Carol.
Marvel Runaways, Wednesday, 9 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Sky Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG powerlifting team ended their campaign on a high note at the Oceania Championships on the Gold Coast yesterday. They bagged 15 medals in total. Among them, heavyweight lifter Vagi Henry competed against the world #1 Jeza Uyepa from Nauru and picked up silver. The Oceania tournament is a lead-up to next year's Pacific Games in Samoa.
Collecting 9 medals on day 1, 5 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze, PNG added another 4 on the second and final day, including a team award. The last set of event in the heavyweight division saw 5 countries compete, 2 from Australia, 1 from Nauru, 1 from New Caledonia, Tuvalu, and representing PNG was Vagi Henry and Philip Ross. The first set of event in the heavyweight category was the squats, followed by bench press and ending with deadlift. Australia's Andrew Fraser and Daniel Curry, despite having competed in strongman competitions, were still not strong enough to defeat the strongest man on the planet, Jeza Uyepa from Nauru. Meanwhile, PNG's Henry Vagi and Philip Ross, trailing behind with their kilos, struggled to reach 200 kilos. New Caledonia, Nauru and Tuvalu successfully completed their bench presses, squats and deadlifts before Jeza Uyepa once again took out the title of the Oceania's strongest man and world champion. The event ended with presentations. PNG only took home 1 medal that went to Henry Vagi. President Michael Kingston congratulated Team PNG for doing so well at this year's Oceania Powerlifting Championships in Gold Coast.
To me, that's the really exciting thing about what's going on with powerlifting in PNG is that it's not the same old names. We have new blood coming into the sport. We have new young lifters who haven't competed internationally before, who are now competing for the first time.
Team PNG will get back into training next year, where 2 separate trials will be held for the existing train-on squad of 18 lifters and then cut back down to 16 in preparations for next year's Pacific Games in Samoa.
The next trial will be the Asia Pacific Championships in March 2019. So we're down to our middle list, let's call it, so our final 30. So we brought a total of 18 athletes this time. We might have brought more if it had been possible to get more visas in time. Unfortunately, Australian visas can be a little slow to get at times. So 18 was the best we could do, but all of the 18 athletes who competed are on our middle list for the Pacific Games. And our plan is between now and March next year to refine that down to the final 15.
PNG in total left Australia and going home with 15 medals, including a team award. The next Oceania Championships will be held in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea in 2020. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports, Gold Coast. The PNG Women's National Football Team secured a place in the OFC Women's Nations Cup semi-finals. PNG beat Tahiti 3-1 in their last group stage match, topping Group A.
PNG started their OFC Women's Nations Cup campaign in doubt. With only 2 weeks of preparations, coach Peter Gunemba did not know what to expect from his team. Out of 21 players, only 8 played more international matches for PNG. However, coach Gunemba was still confident the team would put on a decent performance. The team exceeded Gunemba's expectations in the first match in the Group A playoffs against a spirited Samoa side, beating them 5-0. The second match against hosts New Caledonia was assumed to be a tough encounter, but PNG dominated throughout the whole 90 minutes, scoring 6 goals to New Caledonia's 2 goals. The final match in the group stage was against a determined Tahiti side. PNG started slow, which saw Tahiti score 5 minutes into the first half. PNG fought back to equalize through Selina Unamba and add another 2 goals from Ramon Apadio to win 3-1. The PNG women's national team will play Fiji in the semi-final playoff. Fiji finished second in Group B behind champions New Zealand and also had impressive wins in the group stage. PNG will play Fiji on Wednesday. The winner proceeds to the grand final and will take on the champion of the second semi-final match between New Caledonia and New Zealand. Elijah Levet, National EMTV Sports.
We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back we take a look at the Fuzzy Wuzzy 9. Stay tuned.
True Kai Sports.
Whatever our words may be, sing out strong as far as you can see. Whatever language people are taught, come on, everyone join in. An exciting adventure is about to begin. 'Cause there's one thing we all know, when it's time to get up and go. Sharing stories, make the call. Our favorite biscuit, the best of all. M now, BFG.
For nearly 3 decades, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum has been promoting free trade and development in the Asia-Pacific region. Through APEC, economic output in the Asia-Pacific has more than doubled, helping businesses' growth and employment. Through APEC, we are strengthening our economy, particularly in areas such as small businesses, tourism, agriculture, and information technology. We will continue to grow our economy and create more jobs as we host APEC in 2018.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
They continue to invade our homes, disrupt our livelihoods and threaten our health. But we can stop this cycle of destruction. Reach for Mortein's fast knockdown multi-insect killer. Our trusted technology knocks down and kills flying and crawling insects fast. Trusted technology that kills fast. And at night, you can rely on Mortein coils to repel mosquitoes and protect your family. Choose Mortein for trusted family protection.
More smart, more safe, Mortein.
The mining and petroleum industry trains teachers and builds classrooms. We invest millions of kina to run medical centers and health programs. We build roads and bridges to connect communities to essential services. And we help fight tropical diseases and supply clean drinking water to keep PNG healthy.
Mining and petroleum, growing PNG's future.
Brought to you by the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum.
The FIBA Under-15 Oceania Championship is here in Port Moresby. Come, let's support our very own Team PNG as they face neighbouring rivals Australia, New Zealand, Guam, Tonga, Fiji and Samoa. The championships will be held from the 4th to the 8th of December at the Taurama Aquatic Centre. To purchase your tickets, go to the link. Matches will be streamed live on MTV Online.
I love the way you taste. I love the easy meal.
I love family dinner time.
I love my true kind.
I love the quality. I love the yummy smell.
I love the energy and strength. I love my true kind.
So many reasons, all of us agreeing. So put on your t-shirts and let's all sing.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
Let's sing it again.
I love my true kind. I love my true kind. PNG's rice, the very best rice. Cause we all love a true kind.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To Rugby League now. The Kokoda Fuzzy Wuzzy 9s is currently underway in Port Moresby. The tournament, which began on Sunday, will conclude on Thursday. It is an initiative of the Kokoda Tracking Centre in remembrance of the famous Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels. Patricia Keamo reports.
This year is the second year that the Faziwazi Nines tournament is being staged. A total of 28 teams from the National Capital District and Central Province are competing this year. The tournament will end on Thursday.
Well, the cash prize available, as usual in any tournament or any organized competition, yes, we have cash prizes. The top cup prize money is 20,000 and the runner-up is 10,000.
According to tournament director Manu Lofena, the tournament is not just about money and trophies, but more importantly, in remembering the sacrifices made by the famous Faziwazi Angels during World War II.
Since World War II has happened, our kids, the children, most of them don't have any idea what the World War II and the Faziwazi means. And this program that we are running is to educate the new generation of the sacrifices that our forefathers did, and that's the whole reason why we are in independence now.
Lofena acknowledged the support of the Kokoda Track Central Secretariat, Koyari local level government, the Governor for Central, and the member for Kuhiri in making the 2018 edition possible. And he is also calling on corporate houses to support the Faziwazi initiative. Patricia Kiamo, National EMTV Sports.
And former SP Hunters hooker Wartovo Puara Jr. is keeping fit by playing in the Faziwazi Nines competition before joining his new club in England, the Barrow Raiders, next year. He is part of the Funeral Home Laumers, one of 28 teams taking part.
Former SP Hunters hooker Wartovo Puara Jr. says his involvement in the local tournament is to keep fit whilst waiting for his departure to the United Kingdom early next year. Puara, who ran alongside a former PNG Kumuls fullback Josiah Abavu in today's match for the Funeral Home Laumers Team 1, is excited to take part in the Faziwazi Nines competition.
Just maintain my fitness. Yes, I'll be living in Jan, so after last year, this year, the end of the season, I haven't done much in my training, so I thought this is a better option for me to get back my fitness. And
Puara, who will be playing for the English team Barrow Raiders in UK next year, says Nines tournament such as the Faziwazi are some of the ways of exposing the talents of local players who don't have the opportunity of playing in town competitions, and is calling on the Intercity Cup teams as well as the SP Hunters to scout the local talent in the competition.
I think it gives a lot of opportunity to the boys back in the village to come and show their talent. Most of the time we don't recognize and know how much the talent the village got. So this is a better opportunity for them to showcase what they got. And I hope that probably the Hunters or some of the Digital Cup come and get some of the boys home.
Puara is currently playing for the Funeral Home Laumers Team 1 in the tournament. The Laumers, who were the cup winners in last year's Faziwazi Nines tournament, beat the Laco Blues today with a scoreline of 10-4. Puara thanked the management of the Laumers team for giving him the opportunity to play with local players around Central and NCD, and is looking forward to tough matches in the coming days. Suli, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports for this evening. We go for a break, and when we come back, we take a quick look at the weather. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Whatever our work may be, sing out strong as far as you can see. Whatever language people are taught, come on, everyone join in. Exciting adventure is about to begin. 'Cause there's one thing we all know, when it's time to get up and go. Sharing stories, make the call. Our favorite biscuit, the best of all. M now, BFG. M now, BFG. M now, BFG.
For nearly 3 decades, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum has been promoting free trade and development in the Asia-Pacific region. Through APEC, economic output in the Asia-Pacific has more than doubled, helping businesses' growth and employment. Through APEC, we are strengthening our economy, particularly in areas such as small businesses, tourism, agriculture, and information technology. We will continue to grow our economy and create more jobs as we host APEC in 2018.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A quick look at the weather for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Mostly fine for Port Moresby, fine becoming cloudy for Daru. Cloudy weather expected in Kerma, mostly fine in Alota, and a shower or two in Popondetta.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the way it is today, Monday, the 26th of November 2018. From the MTV News team right around the country, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods and Paradise Beverages.
It's bedtime.
Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush, brush, brush to keep cavities away. Brush, 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 2 times
Remember
a day.
to brush your teeth before you go to bed. Good night, kids.